Welcome to C4, the one-click client closer calculator. This is an all-in-one software tool that enables you to do three things. It enables you to calculate the customer lifetime value. It enables you to forecast the value to your company referrals, and it enables you to set a marketing budget for your company based on ROI. And by that, we mean the following. What if you had an investment goal for your company of making at least a 100% return on your investment? In other words, let's say you put in $1,000 and you wanted to make sure that every time you invested $1,000 into your company for marketing, it brought back $2,000. How would you go about determining that? So in this short video, we're going to walk you through each step so that you are able to quickly and easily determine the lifetime value of each customer to your client, each customer to your business, so that you can spend your time focusing on the customers that are most profitable to you and firing the customers or clients that are the least profitable to you. So let's get started, shall we? Now in this first window, we just have to enter in a few fields. And by doing that, let me click here, all we have to do is enter in 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of information. And what we're going to do is produce a very powerful and helpful calculation of customer lifetime value. In order to do this yourself, calculate the customer lifetime value and the referral value of each customer to your firm, you have to have a fair amount of time invested, but we can quickly and easily do it ourselves. Before we begin, however, what we're going to do is walk through some of the basics of customer lifetime value. So, what is customer lifetime value? Well, customer lifetime value is a measure of the worth of a customer to your business. And how does this help you? Well, the first thing is that calculating CLV, or customer lifetime value, you're able to rank and order customers on the basis of how much money they bring into your business. You're also able to do number two. You're able to know the value of each customer because not each customer or client is worth the same. And because it costs time and money to find and retain customers, it's very helpful to know customer lifetime value. In other words, customer lifetime value tells you how much money is coming in per customer, and once you figure out customer lifetime value, you're able to set how much you want in terms of money going out. And we all know that, in essence, profits or revenues or money in minus money out, which are marketing costs. So customer lifetime value enables you to ultimately calculate the profitability of your company based upon how much each customer is worth. All right. Now you shouldn't treat each customer or client the same. Rather, you should treat them different based on their value to your business in terms of the long-term profits the customer brings in. Also, a smart business should create a marketing budget for itself based upon ROI, or return on investment. And in order to do this, your business should know how much it has to pay to, number one, get a new customer, or acquire a new customer. That's often referred to as customer acquisition. To keep a new customer, which is also referred to as customer retention. Last thing is that each business has limited funds, and you should invest in the customers which will bring you the maximum returns. In order to create a profitable marketing budget for your business, you need to know what the CLV is, because profits are revenues minus costs, and you need to know what each customer is bringing in, or revenues, and how much money is going out in terms of acquiring or retaining a customer. That is marketing money, or money going out. Okay? Return on investment simply is a measure of the variable between how much money you received in profits from a particular investment and how much money you had to put in. So what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to pick a average sales price for a customer, and let's call that $250. Now, what is average sales price? Well, how do you figure that out? The way you do that is you will look at, let's say, all of the goods or services that you produce as a business, and then you would take the average of it, and then you get the average sales price. The number of customers per year, let's just say we're going to put that at 5. And the way that you would get that is that you would look at a spreadsheet of how many sales you're getting on average, and then you would divide that total number of sales, let's say for a year, by your number of customers. The average number of years a customer or client buys from you. Again, you need to have record of your sales because that will enable to tell you the average number of years the customer buys from you. But to keep it simple, you can just guess these numbers. So we're going to call that 2. So based upon this calculation, what we find is that if you have a customer that on average spends $250 with you 5 times a year and they remain your loyal customer for 2 years flat, then one customer is worth $2,500 for you. All right, but it gets even better because typically if you keep a customer for the long term, they refer other people to you. So when you bring in one new customer, you're not just bringing in one new customer, but you're also bringing in one new customer plus a friend. So let's just assume that for every one customer brings you 2 qualified referrals who becomes a customer. Okay? So what that means is that the customer lifetime value of for one customer is actually double what you expected it to be because one customer isn't just bringing you $2,500 in revenue, but it's also bringing you in revenue from referrals that didn't come to you. You didn't have to do any extra marketing work to get those referrals. Your customers virally referred them to you. And I hope that makes sense. So very quickly, let's go over this. If you have on average average sales price of $250 and a customer spends money with you about 5 times a year and they remain your loyal customer for 2 years, then every time you bring in one new customer, it's bringing an additional $2,500 in revenue to your business. But it gets even better. If you do a really good job and that one customer refers you, let's say, 2 other customers, which often happens. As an example, think of a plumber. If you do a really good job as a plumber or a mechanic, or think about any very referral-based businesses, then every time you spend money to bring on a new customer, they're also bringing in you additional funds. So this is very powerful. And if you add these 2 figures together, you'll see that just by investing a small amount of money into marketing and bringing in one customer, you're actually bringing in not just that one sale, but lifetime sales from that one customer plus anybody they refer. Now, fortunately for us, this software and one-click faction also determines the marketing budget for you. So what happens is that in order to set a marketing budget, you need to be able to figure out how much each customer is worth for you. Because not every customer is worth the same, and you want to set a realistic marketing budget based upon how much money that customer is going to or client is going to bring into your business. So what we have based upon the lifetime value of the customer is a very realistic marketing budget. So in other words, we see that if we invest just $1,250, then we're able to bring in this much additional revenue from the lifetime value of a customer. But it gets even better. That's just based on one new customer per year. The thing is that if you invest this money, chances are you're going to get one new customer. Think about this, for instance. Let's say that you put a website up and it costs $1,250, or you do a Facebook or Twitter campaign for $1,250. Well, chances are very high that you're not going to just get one customer, but you're going to get several. And what we see is that, let's say you spent $1,250 and for a social media marketing campaign, and it brought you in one new customer a month. Well, what you'd have to do is you have to multiply $2,500 times the number of months. Okay, so just by spending $1,250, if you're able to get one new customer a year, just one new customer now, that would bring in $2,500 a year. But if you're able to bring one new customer a month, or 12 new customers a year, you bring in $30,000 in revenue. And if you were able to bring in one new customer a week, you get $130,000. So think about this: you put in $1,250, and if you're able to get just one new customer a a year, you get 2,500, and that's double your money. But think about this: if you're able to get just a realistic one new customer a month, but just investing, let's say, $1,250 into a really effective online marketing campaign, for instance, you could bring in $30,000 in additional revenue, or up to $130,000. And the reason why I use online marketing as an example is that it's very possible to get this ROI. But at a minimum, if you invested $1,250 and you generated just one new customer from that investment in a year, then you bring in $2,500. So the question is, what other form of marketing can you spend $1,250 and bring in 2,500? Or more specifically, what other investment, whether it be stocks, bonds, um, commodities, are you able to invest $1,250 and very easily get 2,500, 30,000, even $130,000 with minimal risk? I hope it's been helpful to you. Thanks.